I grew up in the age of the internet, and that means that we knew what the internet was, just didn't know how to do anything with it yet.
Oh, that's
that little
right.
mark with the A and then the ring around it.
At.
See, that's what I said. Katie said she thought it was about.
Yeah. Oh.
But we did know how to find funny videos. Oh, and email. I was one of those people that, like, as a child would email my friends because it was way before texting. But the funniest sketch I found online that is a video now but was initially just an audio file you could listen to was called Arnold's Pizza Shop.
I don't care what you want on it. Every pizza comes with pepperoni and with 9mm bullets on it. If you don't like it, I don't care, because you will receive one anyhow.
And listening to it today, it reminds me of the oil industry, but we'll get into that later. We're here to talk about Electrify America. Rivian just rolled out a rating system for DC fast chargers that routes users to the highest rated chargers as they move along their trip, which is excellent. The developer himself described it on the Out of Spec podcast.
We guide you through stations which are rated A or B. Obviously, if you're in a charging desert and there's unfortunately still a few of them, then we might have to guide you through a charger which is rated lower. But
well, that's me, the charging desert. So, dear Electrify America, I'm not familiar with your CCS charging experience now that I have a CCS car, and it's because you don't want me to be. There are over 80,000 miles of roads total in West Virginia. That's more than Maryland, West Virginia's neighbor to the east, which has so many Electrify America stations, they're hard to count. Another fun fact, there was $7 billion worth of tourism in West Virginia in 2022. And Electrify America claims they're installing 4 stations per week on their website. So why wait so long to put any in West Virginia? And why not employ the same strategy that Electrify America did in Vermont and New Hampshire? Electrify the major thoroughfare, and then find a centralized location between the thoroughfares. It leaves Vermont out as a state, which still isn't cool, but that landmass the size of West Virginia does have a charger in the middle of it. Electrify America's neglect of this literal gateway between the eastern and the Midwest part of the United States has slowed the transition to electrification for millions of people. One 4-stall station in Weston or Sutton, West Virginia, for example, could have opened up the entire state to interstate travel with CCS electric vehicles. 8% of new car sales in 2023 were electric, and those that buy EVs have been proven statistically to be more likely to travel long distances. These factors added together have cost West Virginia millions of dollars in revenue, due to the fact that there are no chargers in West Virginia at all. And as an electric vehicle charging supplier, Electrify America could have worked with local governments and large corporations. There are 39 Walmarts in West Virginia, or even local businesses or malls, car dealerships, etc., to install one 4-stall station centrally located in the state. When I see a multi-million-dollar facility in San Francisco, and not one, literally not one stall in my entire state, the discrimination becomes obvious. And today I'll ask why it's occurring. I reached out to Electrify America for this video, and I told them I was reporting on the fact that West Virginia has no charging stations. They actually replied and just diverted me and told me that it's okay and you should just go to a high-volume EV area because that's what we do. Let's investigate that. Is Mansfield, Ohio a high-demand EV area? It's halfway between Columbus and Cleveland on I-71, so yes, this would be a high-demand area for any type of travel. And according to this map, it gets more than 20,000 vehicles per day traffic-wise. But so does I-77, which also originates in Cleveland and directly connects Ohio to central North Carolina. Am I supposed to believe that there is a massive difference between these interstates and their volume, even though they both originate in the exact same place, or is there something else going on? Okay, you ignored all the residents here. Maybe we only have a $71 billion GDP, but the interstate system is one of the most powerful and important parts of the U.S. economy. West Virginia borders 5 states with massive diversity and spending power, and a GDP of over $3 trillion between them. And because Electrify America completely ignored the one in the middle, West Virginia, travel between them is exponentially harder for the 1% of electric cars on the road total and 8% of new car drivers. You may think 1% is an insignificant amount, but that's $32 billion of spending power between the 5 states you chose not to connect. You depressed our region's tourism through discrimination. You increased our carbon footprint by slowing adoption. And, most importantly, especially now, you increased the likelihood that fear, uncertainty, and doubt would be successful in this area. Take a look at this Google search. Are EV sales really slowing? That's what I typed in. Google highlights a 7.3% decrease from the final quarter of 2023, which we all know is a high volume sales quarter. And yet the truth sits right here in the previous sentence, a 2.6% increase from the same period last year, which would be an apples to apples comparison. And look at the title of the article, EV sales are slowing. Everyone in my state believes this is true, thanks to the fact that there's nowhere to charge. And West Virginia residents aren't the only ones that suffered. Those in Southwestern Pennsylvania, Western Maryland, Eastern Ohio, Northeastern Kentucky, and Northern Virginia suffered as well. If you install 4 chargers a week, why not next week? Why not at a Walmart in West Virginia? We are a coal state. 89% of our power comes from coal, and because of your neglect, almost none of our vehicles run on it. With only 1,800 EVs registered in the state currently. I will concede that we have a small population and that we're behind the adoption curve when it comes to most things. Our population is older than average and has less median income, but we'll get to that in a minute. And of course, it offers the geographical challenges of the Appalachian Mountain Range. But in 2024, there are still 0 stations. I don't want excuses. I want an explanation. I don't need an education in Appalachian geopolitics. And there's no economically feasible excuse other than to further depress a depressed region. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. I want 4 stalls. Prove me wrong. Also, ChargePoint is not interested in where chargers are installed. They're interested in charging you subscription fees. However, EVgo is just as complicit as you with nothing in the state of West Virginia. You should all be ashamed. But the difference between you and EVgo is that your network is a punishment. There are 39 Walmarts here. The billions of dollars of tourism you've stifled. The thousands of people who are unable to take a tax advantage through the Inflation Reduction Act because they have no charging infrastructure. Why the discrimination? Well, it's likely a case of the oldest story in the book. Poor people come last. West Virginia has the lowest median income of all the surrounding states. And let's say your research when building the network was hastily and cheaply performed and that was the only metric you went on. It's still no excuse. So, were you purposely trying to depress a region? Did you want to exclude West Virginia from revenue? Was it Dieselgate? West Virginia University was who caught Volkswagen doing the Dieselgate scandal in the first place. Was this a punishment to West Virginia because we're the ones that caught you? Either way, it was malicious, it was evil, and it has not been corrected. And that brings me back to Arnold's Pizza Shop. The whole point of pizza is that anyone can eat it, and the toppings are diverse, and you can get Hawaiian and pepperoni and supreme or just plain cheese. Arnold had a different idea.
If you want mushroom, shut up. If you want broccoli, what the hell is broccoli anyway? Shut up with the broccoli. If you want something crazy like a pineapple, I'll kill you.
That's what Electrify America is doing to West Virginia. Whether or not you support coal production, that's a different video. But we make it here, and we can't use it to power our own cars. That just increases the carbon footprint of coal even more.
So, you want Electron? Shut up. You want plug-in hybrid? What is plug-in hybrid anyway? Stop it with the plug-in hybrid. You want something crazy, like chargers?
You just can't have them. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more. We'll see you on the next one.
If you like stupid impressions that are terrible, join my Patreon or become YouTube member. I roll outro now. Goodbye.
Hey! Smash the like button!
Thank you.